Chapter 10. Dorian Changes. One night, Dorian Gray had dinner at Lord Henry's. The two men were alone after dinner was over, and Dorian wanted to tell Lord Henry how he had decided to change his life and be good.
I met a girl in the country. She reminded me of Sybil Vane. We spent a month together, and I really felt I loved her. But I did not want to destroy her innocence, so I told her I could not see her anymore.
So, you broke her heart. What good is there in that?
Her heart was not broken. She was sad, but she can live an honorable life. I did nothing to blacken her name.
I think you did it for yourself. It makes you feel good to think that you haven't hurt her, when in reality you have. She'll never forget someone of your beauty. She'll make you more wonderful in her own imagination, and she'll never be satisfied with another man.
Oh, Harry, stop. Can't we please talk about something else?
Dorian was walking around nervously.
We could talk about Basil. Everyone is talking of his disappearance. Or we could talk about Alan Campbell's suicide. Did you know he shot himself in his laboratory?
Dorian did not answer. He was deep in thought.
Did you ever think, Harry, that maybe Basil was murdered? What would you say if I told you I murdered Basil?
Lord Henry laughed.
I would not believe you. Only horrible people commit murders. You could not live the life you do, and you could not look as handsome as you do if you were a murderer.
Dorian Gray prepared to leave.
Oh, don't leave, Dorian. Let's go out and have a drink. It's only 11 o'clock.
No, Harry, I'm going to bed early tonight. I told you I want to change.
Dorian Gray felt good when he returned home. He really believed that he had finally done something right when he told the girl he had met in the country not to fall in love with him. This was how he was going to change his life. He was going to stop doing things which might hurt other people. After that, he hoped his portrait would change from an old, ugly man to one that was young and beautiful like himself. The idea that the portrait would change excited him so much that he threw off his coat and ran upstairs to the room where he hid the picture. He unlocked the door and lit a candle. The knife he had used to kill Basil was still on the table. His heart beat excitedly as he pulled the curtain away. Then his whole body became sick at the sight of the horrible face. Not only was the picture unchanged, but it looked even more ugly. Was Harry right? Could Dorian do nothing but act selfishly? The thought that he could never again become good, and that he would always have a picture of how he truly was, made him mad with anger.
Why are you looking at me like that?
The face in the picture looked as if it was laughing at Dorian. The blood on the hand looked more red than before, and now Dorian noticed there was blood on the other one, and on the floor by its feet. Dorian picked up the knife off the table.
You're the only evidence that I killed Basil Hallward. Why should I let you live and torture me for the rest of my life? I'll destroy you! Why are you looking at me like that?
Dorian raised his arm and ran towards the portrait. His eyes looked as if they were on fire. A horrible cry of pain and the sound of something heavy falling to the floor came from the locked room at the top of Dorian Gray's house. The servants were all asleep, but they woke up when they heard this strange noise. Victor the butler knocked at the door.
Mr. Gray, sir? Are you in there?
There was no answer. Victor and two others climbed out on the roof and entered the room from the balcony. The room was dark except for a candle on a table near the door. Victor saw the portrait of his master, and he was surprised at how real it looked. The face in the picture was young and handsome, just like Mr. Gray had been when he was 20 years old. The three men went closer towards the picture, and there on the floor in front of it was a horrible sight. A very old man, with a horrible look on his face, and a knife stuck in his heart. It was only after they looked at the rings on the man's fingers that they understood who he really was.